Hi guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. If this is your first time tuning in, you're hello, welcome to this YouTube channel. Thank you so much for clicking through this video. We are here again to talk about tips, 7 tips to cope with long distance relationship. Over time, our relationship before we got married, our relationship has been long distance. We started dating or courtship in 2019, and that very 2019 we dated for 5 months before my husband here traveled. Then he was my husband to be, so he traveled 5 months after we started courting, and that was how our relationship became long distance. And this long distance took like 2 years plus before we could meet for our wedding.
That 2 years was the longest
It was the longest,
years I've
like
ever
it's, yeah,
experienced. As
long
if it's not
distance
going to come
come to
to
an end. Like
wow, very
every day
long.
we kept on praying, imagining that one day God will make us come together
Yeah,
and start up what we have to do about life. And then while we were still in our long distance relationship in 2022, that was when we had our traditional marriage, right?
yeah, 2022,
22
yes,
October, we had our
October
traditional marriage.
28th.
Even with the traditional marriage,
Was
it
still,
was
we're not
distant.
together, yes,
He
we're
was
not
in
together at that
Japan,
time.
I was in Philippines,
Yes.
and we had that traditional marriage. Our parents did it for us in our absence. His people had to go to my people, and they all did it. We were there on video call, just watching how everything was
Also, the
going,
ceremony,
and
killing of the goat, killing of the
everything,
fowl, doing the yam, doing
everything.
the wood, firewood, and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Everything was on video.
And after the traditional marriage, God opened the way. That same year,
Yeah, 20
October, November, December, that was when I got
December
my visa to go meet him.
in
And
Japan.
we had our court wedding, our white wedding, and that was how we became married. So think I think we have the knowledge to share on how we were able to cope for these 2 years plus of not being together with each other, yet we were able to stay, and God helped us. And what helped us within this few years, 2 years
Yes, two
of being
years plus
apart,
being
what
apart.
helped us, we'll be sharing with you guys today, and I hope you find it valuable. I encourage you to please continue watching, keep on watching, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. So we'll be discussing 7 tips to cope with long distance relationship (LDR), and we'll be sharing our experience. What we'll be sharing here is our experience, how we're able to cope during our long distance relationship. And what do you have to say about what helped us?
Yes, one of the things that helped us, or rather me, was that I was sure that this is going to be my wife. That the lady I just met, or the lady I'm leaving for Japan, I was very convinced that no matter what comes or what goes, I was very sure that she is my wife.
Number 2 tip is concrete plan. Make concrete plan. This is one of the tips that helped us. Make concrete plan with your partner before or during the even before the relationship become distant. Both of you should sit down and make concrete plan. This distant relationship, how long will it be? How long are we going to be in this long distance relationship? Both of you should be able to have a grip of how long that relationship will be, so that you don't end up wasting your time and wasting away, that you are waiting for someone who you are not sure both of you are going to end up together. So make a concrete plan on how long that relationship would be. This way you will be hopeful, and being hopeful, you are sure that when this time come, this is when our marriage is going to happen. This is when we are going to meet and become husband and wife. So concrete plan is very important in every LDR if you really want it to
Number
work.
three is that um, don't say what you are not sure of. What you are not sure of, don't say it to your partner. as you are in long distance relationship, you talk on phone, don't say maybe what you heard about a friend told you, someone else told you. I might tell you, I saw your girlfriend, your fiance doing something here. If you are not sure, don't even mention it to your partner. Very, very important.
Number four tip to cope with long distance relationship is spend quality time together. Even when this relationship has turned to long distance relationship, distance is not a barrier. So quality time is something both of you need to be intentional about. For that relationship to work, quality time very, very important. Time on phone call. Both of you should schedule when to be speaking. Make sure that in a day that there is a specific time when both of you are free that you can communicate, have a quality time, spend quality time together on video calls, voice calls, video calls, especially, so that both of you can be connecting. Because this video call is one of the ways you connect with your partner, even when he's not there with you. You connect with him or her with video call. So make sure you are very intentional about quality time you spend with your partner. It tightens the bond of the relationship.
One point I would like to make is that you must deliberately accept your own responsibility. During this period where we were apart, I had a challenge of talking on phone for a long time. I don't like hanging on phone for a long time. It wasn't part of me at
It's not
all.
part of his life.
It wasn't part of,
He
I
can't
don't.
stay with you
No,
on
no,
call
no,
for
no, no,
so
no, no.
long. It's not part of
I
his
used
life.
to think, what are we discussing?
What are we
What are we talking?
talking?
I have many things to do. I have Bible to read. I have I have prayer to pray. Then I'm just here on phone, on phone.
I was the one that
So
pushed him. Like, I was the one that made sure that that
yeah,
thing becomes his
I,
lifestyle.
at the
Because
point, yeah, I
it becomes his
realized that
lifestyle.
this is a responsibility I must
Seriously,
attend to. I
exactly.
have to spend time with my partner. I have to begin to
Buckle up.
buckle up and then change that
Mentality.
idea that was that challenge I had. If I don't know what to say, I just stay there, and then my expression, she sees my expression, and then before you know it, she can tell me. She begins to understand too, and but I was growing in that by taking
Yeah, very,
responsibility.
very important. Maybe your
Yeah.
partner is not the kind that stays on call for so long. A lot of people have a partner that they can't just stay on call for
Another
so
one
long.
is even video.
Video calls,
Yeah,
he
video
doesn't.
calls too.
So
So
you make sure you let them understand the importance of this. For the fact that this relationship has turned to a long distance relationship, this call need to be a priority. There is no how both of you can stay without making that quality phone call. Both of you should, even when you are talking rubbish, both of you should be there, be listening to the rubbish, be listening to that rubbish, because it's
because that is the only
from that
connection.
rubbish
Yeah, that's the only
both of you
connection.
build connection. So ensure to help your partner to come out from that mindset of, I don't like phone calls, I don't like video calls. Bring him or her out from such a
Yeah,
mindset. It
even
will
through
help build
phone
that
call,
relationship.
you can be cooking, and then still
Yeah,
on phone call,
sometimes we
walking on the
cook,
way, walking on the
sometimes we
road.
have dates on phone
Yeah,
calls, video calls, we have dinner dates,
very,
make
very
it
important.
virtual.
It's
So it's
it's
very
it's a
important
responsibility.
that we need to
Yeah,
prioritize to maintain your or to cope with your long
distance,
distance
relationship.
relationship.
Yeah, very
So the
important.
next point is effective communication. Is just similar to what he already shared.
Mm.
Effective communication is very important. It's not just communication. There is difference between communication and effective communication. If there is a tendency that both of you are communicating, but you people have not achieved that effective communication, make sure that your communication is effective. Let
Yeah,
that communication yield something.
effective in the sense also that if you have major on the major, talk on the majors,
Exactly.
and then
Discuss the
yeah,
major things. Sometimes people end up
discussion
having a
topic, very,
relationship.
very important. Yeah,
Exactly.
don't just call and be
Being
talking
out
what
of
doesn't make
point.
sense. You
Although,
can talk that later, but
but the
make
major
sure, yeah,
important things, talk about it, discuss about the major things about the future of the marriage, of
yeah,
the relationship, how both of you are going to achieve coming together. Those things should spice up the relationship and give you hope that someday you're going to meet this person face to face. So effective communication is really important.
Yes, another point is uh, purposeful questions on caring that shows care. For example, when you're on call, you say, "How are you doing today? Have you eaten? Have you taken your bath?" These are questions that are very necessary, on
Hmm.
point questions that must be asked. Have you, what did you do today? What's your plan today? It's still morning, you can do something else. You just discuss something, and then that day should be profitable for the both of you.
Exactly.
Very, very important. And one point I want to make again is that you must create a time of prayer for yourself.
Exactly. I have
Very,
that
very
point. I
important.
have that point.
Very, very,
prayer.
very,
Prayer is
very
very
important.
important. Prayer.
Because
Don't
if
joke with prayer. The,
because if the devil knows that this
is the
is
will of
the
God,
will of
the
God,
plan
he
of God.
must
He will
fight it.
fight it. Exactly. The enemy will
Fight
fight
it
it.
through different means.
Means to make sure that it doesn't
Circumstances.
stand. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
prayer is a
Prayer is
backup
very
for
important.
you to overcome. Prayer is very, very important. I already wrote it in my own pointer, and coincidentally, he has it
Yeah,
in his
yeah,
own
yeah, yeah.
pointer.
You have also to have a childish mentality when it comes to troublesome, when you have a misunderstanding. Don't say, because two wrongs cannot
Cannot
make a
make it
right.
right.
When the other one is, sometimes you are the one that is wrong, you still have to come and say sorry.
Exactly.
Because sorry is not necessarily
The
when,
dependent on the person that made the
yes,
mistake
if you really want it to work, you don't have to wait for your
to
partner,
say sorry
yeah,
first.
or even to call. Sometimes don't wait for each other to call. Don't say, this is, I'm waiting for him to come, waiting for her to call.
You wait and tire.
Just call, do the calling. Sometimes the atmosphere is not good because you just had arguments,
Mm.
and then you don't want to make
First move.
first move to call,
Mm.
but just make that call.
Yeah.
And then when you make that call, just try to introduce prayer, because
Exactly.
there is something prayer does. Prayer
Does
brings, it weakens the heart. It's like a medicine.
to the
Yeah,
relationship.
it's like a medicine. It just fabricates it, it oils the relationship,
So the
and then
next
it's,
point is intentionality. Long distance relationship has to do with being intentional. If you really want it to work, you have to be intentional about these things. Every move you make, every activities, whatsoever you do in that long distance relationship, you have to be intentional, because you know that you are not just courting this person for just courting sake, or just you know you're not playing. You just know that you have a future with this person. You are sure, you are confident, you've been convinced that this is the person you are ending up your life or starting this journey of marriage with. You have to be very intentional to make things work. Go extra mile to make it work. Go extra mile. Maybe the other one is having birthday, or maybe there's a major celebration he or she is going through. Go extra mile, get the person gift despite the distance. You
yeah,
can still purchase some things online, order to some things, get his or her address and send those things to him or her. This way you are building connection. Be intentional. Don't make the person feel lonely, because long distance relationship alone can make a relationship lonely or
yeah.
boring. So in order to spice it up and make it active and make
Ah,
everyone happy, you have to be doing all of those things. Buy gift, send to the person, do have dinner date. Despite the distance, it shouldn't stop your dating. It shouldn't stop your like dinner date.
yeah,
Both of you should have dinner dates. Go on virtual app like Zoom, Google Meet, and be there on video call as both of you are watching each other, eating, discussing. These are the things that spice up this relationship.
yeah.
Be intentional about
Yeah,
everything.
while you're on video call, maybe you see something that is not, that doesn't agree with your feelings, with your conscience. Don't be afraid to ask. Oh.
Ask immediately, no waste time.
Immediately, don't allow it to die with
Don't
you.
even think
Just
about it or
just
carry it
be
over to Ghana.
intentional about it. Who is that
Ask.
person? Who are you? Who did you talk to? I called you the other time. You didn't pick. But don't don't do it too much. Too
Like,
much
don't
of
be
everything is
exactly, because
bad.
if you start doing it too much, it will seem
Yeah,
like you
so
don't
it
trust your
shouldn't appear
partner.
to be distrust.
Yeah,
Yeah, there
exactly.
should be
And
still
another thing
trust.
about long distance relationship, before both of you agreed about that long distance relationship, that means you trusted each other. You can't
Yes,
trust some. You can't be in a long distance relationship with someone you don't trust.
trust
So
must be there. So
trust must be
just be
there.
intentional when you feel something fishy.
Mm.
When it's not that something is fishy, but when your conscience is not right,
Agreeing with what you
just
are
express
saying,
it. Don't hide it.
say it,
Express
and
it
let it be
immediately.
rectified
Yeah,
immediately.
immediately. Don't sleep
Exactly.
over issues, especially when it can
Destroy
destroy.
the relationship.
Yeah, don't sleep over it. Make sure you settle it before you go to bed. Very important.
All right, guys, you're already coming to the end of this video, and I do really hope you got value from these tips we've shared with you. I would love to encourage you, if you have any, maybe your relationship has been long distance, or you have experienced long distance relationship. What are the things that helped you navigate that period of waiting to meet your partner? What are the things that has helped you? Feel free to put it down in the comment section, because we'll be reading from you and other people will be reading from you to learn what and what helped you, and maybe some things we are not able to put into this video, because if we start putting everything that helped us in this video is going to be too long. But to cut everything short, we have to make it shorter, so that everything will be able to contain most of the things we encountered will be able to contain. Feel free to put your own down in the comment section. Thank you so much. Please share this video to your friends, family members, loved ones, and thank you so much for doing that. Do not forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe.
Yeah, thank
Click
you
on the
so much.
notification bell to get notified anytime we drop new video.
Yes, one thing I want to say, the last thing I want to say in this video is that do not be afraid to engage in long distance relationship. It still
Work,
works.
it
Don't allow
still
anybody to
works.
tell you it doesn't work.
Discourage you.
It works,
It still
especially
works.
when you are sure that this person
Person is
is
your life partner.
God's design for you. Don't be
Exactly.
afraid to
Don't
go
be
into it.
afraid.
Just pray. If you pray, God will shorten. God can shorten even the distance.
Exactly. Prayer is key.
Look forward for our next video and subscribe. And we are glad that you are following us. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. See you.
Bye bye.
Shalom.